Good morning and welcome here in Shamrorinpoche's beautiful garden. Life is beginning to start again here and there in different states. We see that the confinement regulations are lifted, and so we're about to embark, maybe progressively, into our life as we knew it before the confinement, before the restriction of movements. And so it sort of coincides with the 10th episode of this series, COVID-19 Diary, and I think it is a good moment to close this chapter, close this book. And I wanted to talk about the after. Whenever you practice meditation in a classic way, whether it is following the Mahayana tradition or using the tantric methodology, there's usually three main aspects to the practice. The first one is the opening phase, which is the creating the ground, the preparation. Then there's the heart of the practice. And then there is the conclusion, or actually the aftermath. The post-meditation, if you will. So the first part is creating the foundations, the good conditions for the practice to happen properly. Basically, and to make it simple, taking refuge in the three jewels, generating the enlightened mind attitude, gathering the true provisions of merit and wisdom through, for example, the seven branch prayers of the seven branch practice. Once the foundation are solid, then we can begin the practice, the main part of the main body of the practice. So if you are in the using the tantric methodology that includes visualizations and mantras and so on and so forth, then the main body of the practice has two aspects: the creation phase and the perfection phase. In the creation phase, you're going to build up what is going to be your support for transformation. So out of emptiness, the primordial sound will manifest the presence of, let's say, Chenrezig, Avalokiteshvara. And then around this presence, above your head or in yourself, there are many ways of doing it, a network of activity and intention will be created. And as we do so, we use our body, visualizing ourselves as Avalokiteshvara or above our head. We use our speech with the different prayers, the different intentions, the different mantra, the mantra that we recite, Om Mani Padme Hum. And with our mind, we cultivate loving kindness and discernment. So it's a path of effort, whose main purpose is to tune our body, speech, and mind to the body, speech, mind, enlightened of Avalokiteshvara. So there is a metamorphosis, there is a transformation. That is that whatever the husk that covers, whatever obscures our true nature of our body, speech, and mind will be progressively removed. The self-centered concern will be progressively dispelled, and loving kindness and compassion will replace them. So there is a work of transformation. Once we have done this work of transformation in the course of the practice, and more particularly the main body of the practice, we come to the phase of completion. When we come to this moment, our focus changes from manifestation to essence. During the generation phase, we've been really paying attention to the transformation of our body, speech, and mind, the intention of compassion, and so on and so forth. And now we are, as this comes to fruition, let's say, we're moving from this, we're changing our focus towards the essence, that is emptiness. Avalokiteshvara above our head, or as ourselves, will progressively merge into light and merge into the primordial space of our mind and emptiness. It is not that these two phases are different in the sense that they are separate. You know, like the Heart Sutra mentions, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So the manifestation is just the clarity of the empty mind. The empty mind is the essence of all luminous manifestation that can be perceived. So there's a transformation of our outlook that becomes a sacred outlook. There's a transformation of a perception of ourselves. And then there is the moment where our mind, being free from all confusion and misunderstanding, can abide, that is, experience its own true nature. That is the main part of the practice. Then comes the third aspect, which is the post-meditation. And it is not just a nice way to say goodbye and you're gone. It is an actual practice in itself. When you come from the main part of the practice, you enter the world of action, or Chöpa in Tibetan, but action can be also behavior, way of being. So during this time where we were in confinement, in sort of retreat, we had to create the basis for us to be able to do something with our mind in this context. Take refuge, generate enlightened activity, create the stream of merit and the flow of discernment. And then through our practice, whether it uses tantric technology, so to say, or just pure, simple meditation of calm, abiding, and vipassana, something has been transformed, something has been changed. And we're about now to enter the post-meditation, so to say. We're about to enter the after confinement / retreat time. So what I'd like to invite you to do is first sort of a debriefing of what happened. What were the things that really triggered my emotional response during this retreat? We all have been pushed to the limit of what we could work with. And sometimes we were a little bit overwhelmed. Most of the time, maybe, hopefully, we could work with it, see it, and transform it. So what worked? What didn't work? Did I have the tools to work with it? Did I have, or not? Did I have the tools, and was I in the disposition to use them? So these are important questions because they open what will come next. If I didn't have the tools to work with what life threw at me, I need to acquire them through study and reflection. If I had the tools and I didn't really want to use it, then maybe we have to reflect upon impermanence and the precious nature of human existence, so that we catch up what was missing and decide to use what we are being endowed with, the great gift of the Dhamma. Now, when we enter the post-meditation, there's two modalities in this. First, we notice that we are a different person. So when I say we go back to normal, actually it's not going to be the same normal. It's going to be another normal. And this will have to be defined. So during these few days before you go back to your life, debrief and start thinking about, what do I really want to change? What have I seen during this time about my life that make me realize that I don't want this anymore? I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. Maybe I begin to see what I really want to do. And then you can start working on it as we come out, as we come to the post-meditation phase. So these are the things you have to figure out for yourself. Once we enter the post-meditation, we enter with two main, we could say, tracks. One is discernment, wisdom, and the other one is benevolence. In the mind training teachings, the post-meditation is summarized by one slogan, Be the child of illusion. What does it mean? Be the child means that you are born from illusion. You are born from illusion. Everything that you experience is like the dream in structure, the way it appears to our senses, the way our mind comes to know it. So that connects us with what we've been doing during our meditation, according to mind training literature, by the first slogan, consider all phenomena like the dream experience. That's the ground. All phenomena are like the dream experience. So when we're in the post-meditation, we don't forget this, because we meditate upon this, we had some understanding, some little aha moment, and we keep cultivating this. But when we understand that all phenomena are like the dream experience, it doesn't mean that nothing has any importance, because that is a superimposition of a sort of a nihilist feel on this experience. Far from throwing us into nothingness and lack of interest for other people's situations, it gives to our compassion a deeper dimension. It is hard to see people suffering. It breaks our heart. But when you, on top of that, understand that their suffering is merely the fruit of their delusion, that it doesn't have any ground or foundation outside of their deluded mind, it really gives an extra dimension to your compassion. And you want to alleviate the suffering, but you also want to help them to understand what is the cause of their suffering. So that is going to be our mission, so to say. How can I help everyone, that is me included, all sentient beings, to be free from suffering and the cause of suffering, that is ignorance and delusion? That's going to be my project in post-meditation. And I will be able to sustain this project and be sort of efficient as I do this, because this action will be nourished by what I have discovered in the main part of my practice that I conducted during this retreat confinement time. And all of this will have been possible because I had a strong sense of what refuge means, what the enlightened mind attitude is, and how through positive energy and actions we create the basis for such an activity and realization. So as we go in our daily life, in the awareness that everything is like the dream, it appears like a dream appears. And our intention is to help every sentient beings. Our self-centered attitude have very little space to be. Our altruistic mind will grow and become more and more important. And we will continue our practice. This practice in the post-meditation will validate the experience that we have discovered in our meditation, the experience and realization that we discover in our meditation will nourish our activity, and they will sort of create a synergy between meditation and action. So that's what I wanted to invite you to think about as a conclusion of this series on the COVID-19 diary. Other things will come up in the future. Me, just like you, I have also seen a lot of things that need to be transformed and changed in my life. I'm working on it, like you are working on it, and I don't know what tomorrow will be made of, but I know we might see again, either virtually or in real life, but I can't tell you when and how. we'll meet again when and how karma permits. In the meantime, take care and continue to explore your beautiful mind so that your Buddha nature can have all the space it actually deserves, and may you become of benefit for everybody. Thank you very much.